So I'm really excited about this because I've been really immersing my own self in, if you guys haven't noticed, a lot of motivational videos, listening to Zig Ziglar and Les Brown and all those people that we're told are legends in business and of overcoming hard circumstances in life. I was talking to my husband about this morning because we were talking about things in our childhood that impact us as adults and why some people can go through really hard things and become motivational speakers, and other people can go through those same hard things and become addicts, or like drowning themselves and trying to numb themselves from the hard stuff that they went through. And it's something that's been, I think, always really, I didn't know it consciously, that really fuels me to help people use the hard things to, as part of their story, to tap into their inner greatness, if that makes sense. So when thinking about our business and looking at our team specifically and the weaknesses, the weak areas, not weaknesses necessarily, but the weak areas that we all have across the board, it is the invite. It's getting people on board. How do you unawkwardly invite people to what we're doing? Why is that a breakdown? And I wrote this down because I wanted to share this with you. If we in life took the approach of recognizing what are my weak areas that are getting in my way of success in anything, it's not just in coaching, but like as a mom, as a parent, feeling successful and achieved in my life, what are those areas that keep coming up for me? Is it time? Is it my perspective? Is it, I just don't know how to juggle all the things. Is it my confidence? What is it? And then once we identify it, then if we have this mission of now I'm going to become a master of that area. I don't know how right now, but now that I recognize what my problem area is, now I'm going to learn how to teach other people to overcome this, because you're not alone in your struggle. Whatever it is, you're not alone. And I think in coaching across the network, inviting is the thing that gets in most people's ways. And I think that there's a couple different reasons. So I actually posted in our roundtable, the roundtable group, about this. Does anyone have like a total, like an invite system in one place that they share with their teams? And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to create one. I think that we together as a team, it can be very simple. So that's what I want to go over with you today. Look at this official whiteboard ordered off of the Amazon. I feel so cool right now, you guys. So cool. I was brainstorming before this, and I was like, there's 6 things that I can see, like 6 steps that are critical to having success in our invite system. We're gonna see how long she lasts in this. And that's what I want to go over with you, because I really truly believe if you master these 6 areas, I'm gonna have to keep looking because people keep requesting to join. If you master these 6 areas and have them in front of you, that you will be successful in this business. Like I don't know anyone who wouldn't be. So I'm excited about it. Okay, number 1. And this, because this is so much more than it goes before you actually invite people to join you. And if you don't have this first step, nothing else will work. I can promise you. You could have 7 million Instagram followers. You can have the perfect words, but if you don't have this first thing, nothing will work. And that's your belief. You have to believe in what we're doing and in yourself, right? And here are a couple questions. So I have to use the whiteboard. Okay, so I'm going to say mindset and belief. All right, so I have a whiteboard and not great markers, so there's that. A little far away. So here's a couple questions as I was thinking through this that I want to ask you, and I'm going to type this all up eventually and make it look pretty so you guys can have it in front of you. But before you sit down to invite people, before you have a conversation, ask yourself, do you believe that this actually works? When people do what we are providing them, nutrition, fitness, supplementation, accountability in our groups, and coaching, those 5 elements that we're providing every person who signs up with the challenge pack, do I believe that it works if they do it? If they don't do it, if they don't drink their Shakeology, if they don't do the workouts, if they don't follow the nutrition plan, obviously it's not really going to work. But if they do I believe it works? And I hope for all of you that's a resounding yes, absolutely. I've seen it in myself, and I've seen it in thousands of other people and testimonials that are on social media. Even if I don't know them, there's so many 21-day fix testimonials, and from every single one of our programs. So we have to get to this place where I truly believe that this works if people do it. If you don't know, your invite is not going to be effective because you really don't believe that it's going to help the person. Number 2, do you believe our approach is unique? And I think this is a really powerful question because, as we know, there's a lot of shakes out there, right? There's a lot of other fitness options out there. There's a lot of other nutrition options out there. There's a lot of products out there. There's, groups that people put together. But what we have, and my perspective on this, you guys know, is unique because I've been in this industry for a long time, both in nursing and then in owning my own health coaching business. And I've seen people get pieces. They'll try a supplement, or they'll do a meal replacement shake that's loaded with crap, or they'll just work out, or they'll just try to get on a meal plan. And it's almost a waste of money because I truly believe, in my perspective, you need the holistic, comprehensive approach to get long-term lasting results in your life that's really going to take you to the next level. And so our unique approach, if you're new to coaching, is that those 5 elements. We have intentional nutrition, which is different than clean eating. You can eat broccoli and quinoa, right? But if you're not intentional with making sure you're getting all the different food groups and nutrients, and have a plan for what your goals are. Some people's goals are to lose weight. Some people's goals are to gain weight, right? Some people are breastfeeding. Some people are pregnant. Some people are 200 pounds overweight. So you need intention. Intention is really powerful when it comes to nutrition. Number 2 is efficient fitness. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I used to work out 3 hours a day in the gym as a college athlete. And I swear to you, I get better results in 30 minutes in my living room than I did spending hours at the gym when I had no life other than myself, right? And so we have efficient fitness programs that work for anyone's goals and lifestyle, whether that's they need to just do 10-minute trainer with old school Tony Horton because that's all that they can do right now. That's totally fine. We'll make that work. Or you need no impact exercise because you have knee problems. That's great. You can do yoga or bar blend or or PIO, some of our no impact programs. Or you're an athlete and you need to do something like 6 weeks of the work because you're more high level. We have something for everyone, and it's all like, I don't know if any of our programs are over an hour. I don't know if any of them are. Maybe some 80-day obsession. I don't think any of them are over an hour. And so when you ask someone to go to the gym, if I go to the gym just for an hour, is that a good workout? It's usually on the shorter end, right? Some people feel like they need to go to the gym for longer than an hour in order to get a good result. So efficient fitness is huge. 3 is supplementation. This is just my, again, perspective on this, but we live in a really toxic world where everyone is stressed the F out all the time. We have so much going on. So we've got toxic overload, nutritional deficiencies. Our soils are not like they used to be. So even if you're getting an organic apple, you would have to eat 20 apples compared to 100 years ago because of the nutritional deficiencies that are in our soils nowadays. And that can be really disheartening because when you start to learn about our air is toxic, our water is toxic, our food supply is toxic, like that, I remember getting this headspace that I was like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. Like the world is horrible. And then that's just a physical element, not to mention the mental, emotional components that we have and the burdens that we have. So supplementation that we provide people with Shakeology alone is so powerful. The fact that people are getting adaptogens and superfoods in one scoop that tastes like chocolate and digestive support is so powerful. And I believe that with all my heart because of what I've seen out there. So that's the third element. We have supplementation. We've got the clean performance line, which is really hard to find out there nowadays. And everything that's backed by science and tested, right? Shakeology, 1900 tests in every batch to test for potency of each of the superfoods and purity, that there's no heavy metals, there's no GMO source ingredients, that there's no pesticides and herbicides. That's huge. We have that to offer because of being a part of Beachbody. So that's the third element, is supplementation. The fourth is the community. And for those of you who've read James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he talks about how the most successful, the best way to set yourself up for success for adopting new healthy habits is to put yourself into an environment where the cultural norm is what you are trying to adopt. So for people who are wanting to be healthy, and they have a family who's not supportive of them, and they want to eat their chicken nuggets or do fast food or whatever, it's really hard for a lot of people to be successful in that environment. In our challenge groups and in our team, in our community, we provide an environment where that cultural norm is what they're wanting to adopt. And so their chances of success is much higher. That is the fourth element that we provide people, is community. And then the fifth element is coaching. Every person gets a coach for both one-on-one coaching and group coaching. So I'm here for my people if they have questions, or if they're feeling discouraged and they reach out to me and they're like, hey, I just ate a whole pizza last night. I'm feeling really down on myself. What should I do? I can be there to encourage them. If you buy a book about health things, it can say all the things you need to do. But if you don't have that support system to say, to ask questions to, a lot of people will read the book, they'll have the knowledge, but they won't do it. I have totally done that before. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. Like, I know what I need to do, but I'm not doing it. And so having a coach in this is so valuable. I've shared this with a lot of you that I used to charge $100 per health coaching session. And that's kind of the going rate for health coaches. That doesn't include anything other than my time and my support and my recommendations. People are getting so much in a challenge pack. It's insane to me how valuable it is and how low the price is. So that is the fifth component. So we've got 5 unique elements to our approach that's in one stop. People don't need to go find them all 5 of those separately. That should blow your mind. And I'm sharing all this with you because if you have all this in your head before you send an invite, can you tell, like, your excitement levels would be way higher than just like, hey, do my challenge group. It's cool. Right? And so you're going to be way more successful. So that was the second question. Third question, if people do this, how could their life benefit? Ask yourself, if people actually do this, if they buy the challenge pack, if they become a part of my challenge group, if they do the things, how is this going to impact their life? Do I really believe they're going to benefit? Because if you don't, there's a problem there. And that's what we need to work on, not your invite script. If someone is successful in coaching, people get freaked out to invite to coaching. If someone's successful in coaching, ask yourself, how could this person's life be impacted? If they're a successful coach, think of the things it's done for you. Maybe it's helped with your confidence. It's given you a positive community. Think maybe it's helped with, oh goodness, people are waiting on me. Financially, has it helped you paying your bills? I know, obviously for me, you guys know this move could never happen if it wasn't for my business. My husband's home right now because of coaching. My kids will have a very different future because of coaching. So when I tell someone that they'd be awesome at this and I'd love to share more about it with them, it's not selfish for me to send that invite. I am genuinely ecstatic about what this could do for them, and I 100% believe that it could change their life. See how it like shifts your perspective on what you're doing. Okay, so next one. Only three more. Do you believe that this is insanely affordable? Or do you think it's expensive, and do you expect people to tell you no because it's expensive? If you, after what I just shared with you, if you genuinely believe and see the reality that this is so affordable, this is so inexpensive. I try to always avoid the word cheap because to me that is in correlation with quality. This is so inexpensive and so powerful and so much for the money that you're spending. When people say, I don't have the money, or which I completely understand that sometimes people just don't. You know how I feel when they don't? Amazing opportunity for them to earn it as a coach. How many of you have heard Danielle Natoni's story and so many top 10 coaches' stories of having no money and being $100,000 in debt and being on food stamps and living in their car and becoming a coach? And now they're 7-figure earners. Like, the potential, if you really want it, is insane for those who will put in the work and believe in themselves and actually follow through and be teachable in the coaching opportunity. So make sure you're checking if you really think that this is an insanely affordable option for people to live their best life. How will this impact busy, exhausted, overweight, stressed out people? If you think that for all, like, how many Americans fit that? They're busy, they're exhausted, they're overweight, and they're stressed out. And those are the people that are saying, I don't have time. I don't have to. I just had a conversation with a couple of people who had reached out to me and said, I want to be a part of your test group, but this is what's going on in my life right now. I'm so tired and I don't have time. I don't think I'd be a good contestant, but I want to. And shifting their perspective to say, hey, I totally understand. What if we just get you drinking Shakeology? Could you do 10 minutes of movement in the morning? On your drives, can you listen to a book that I'm going to recommend for you to listen to just feed your mind, right? Because our mind constantly needs nourishment. Could you do those things? Could you add some more vegetables when you're eating out, even if you're eating fast food? Could you drink a little bit more water? People can do these things. And then what happens to the stressed out, busy, exhausted, overweight person is they're starting to get hope that they can do this too, and it's going to shift every area of their life. Because most of the people who are busy, exhausted, overweight, and stressed out, a lot of them are moms, right? And so we are the ones that put ourselves on the back burner to serve everyone else's needs, and we're doing it from an empty start every day. And then we're stressed out, we're snappy, we are not happy, we are not fulfilled. And then it gets taken out on our kids and in our relationships and in our careers and other areas of our life. And over time, that will completely burn us out to the point of we don't recognize ourselves anymore, right? Extreme depression, extreme anxiety. So what if we can help these people with just like little shifts? That's what we do as coaches. We're just matching them to the tools. We don't know everything. We're just there to encourage them and show them, hey, you could do this too. Put a scoop of this in water and shake it and drink it. I don't care if you like the taste. It's going to help you. Right? It takes 30 seconds. Here's some Energize. It will change your life. Like, I don't know. I'm Mom and Energize, like, I think should go hand in hand every day. Okay. And then the last question I'm going to ask you is that do you believe if you reach out to someone to invite them to what they're doing and they do it, is that selfish of you or is it serving of you? Because a lot of people have this weird mental block that if they are successful and if they're making money in coaching, that it's selfish. And I don't know why we do that, but it's a very common block for a lot of people. And I want you to take a step back objectively and ask you if you are, let's put this on me. So if I'm working really hard to provide an incredible life for my family and do something that is impacting other people's lives for my career, is that selfish of me to choose to do that? Sometimes if we put it on other people, it's easier to see like the truth rather than our own like stuff in our head about ourselves. If you think that it's selfish of you to hit Success Club and selfish of you to invite people to do what you're doing so that you can make some commission, then that is going to be a hard thing to get past. It's going to be a hard thing for you to be successful until you can get past it and see that selling, even though that's not what we do, but like someone, like serving someone with a challenge pack, serving someone, inviting them to your community, that is you being generous and actually caring about other people's lives. Our job as coaches is to help other people be the best version of themselves so that they can be the gift to the world that they were created to be. Because we all know if we're exhausted and depleted and not operating at our best, our world suffers. My kids will suffer. Oh my gosh, right? My kids will suffer. My purpose on this world, that I know I was created to do this, to serve other people and help them be better. If I am not operating in my strengths, then the people who I was called to serve and love on, they will not get that either. And you are the same. You have a circle of influence, whether you recognize it or not. And so if you're not operating in your strength, your family and your kids and your people will suffer. So what we do is not selfish. It is serving. It is selfless because we care. We just found a way to get paid for it, which is genius. If you have to make money anyways, why not do it in something that matters, is making a difference in people's lives and having a generational impact? Kids are being raised differently. Kids are eating differently. Childhood obesity is 1 in 3 kids now, right? What we're doing is impacting that. That's so cool. We get paid to do that. That's amazing. So number 1, mindset and belief. There's 6 steps, and I spent most of the time on that one because, again, if you don't have it, nothing else matters. I promise you. Okay, number 2. Social media presence power. I'm going to share this with you real quick. So let's talk about this. Social media presence. One of the most common, I think, misconceptions or questions or doubts I get about people with coaching is social media. And you can grow this business not being on social media, but I just wanted to share with you my perspective on it because it's different, I recognize, than a lot of people. I 100% agree that social media is a very toxic, judgmental place. And so a lot of people will get off social media because of that. And I understand that, and I respect that. Everyone needs to do what they need to do. I have never seen social media as a place that serves me. I have always seen social media as a place where I go to serve people, because there are bajillions of people on social media who are in that toxic, dark place. If that's true, I want to be a light to those people, right? And they need it more than anyone. And especially in our COVID world, and I'm a work from home mom of 3 kids, I'm not going out and being a part of moms groups. My kids aren't in school yet. So as far as networking and becoming friends with people, I don't really have much of an opportunity to do that. And so I see social media for me as a place where that is my mission field. Those are the people who really need what I have to offer. Those are the people who need the inspiration and need the reminders that they're great, and need even for me to remind them, like, don't sit on here and scroll for hours a day, right? If you're going to do something on your phone or on the computer, listen to some Les Brown, or listen to some Zig Ziglar, or listen to, here's the message from the Elevation Church that really helped me. I'm sharing, I'm being the light in the world. And so I'm also being consistent in my journey. So when you're sending invites, people are also watching your journey. When you're showing up every day in your Instagram stories and on Instagram and on Facebook, mind you, it should never consume you and all of your day. But if you're showing up and saying, this is how I mom, this is how I get through my life, this is me with my accountability partner, Britton. I'm waking up at 4:30. Here's a screenshot of my alarm. You use it as like a journal of, I woke up at 4:30. This is me drinking my Energize. I drink it because it really helps me mentally and physically with motivation to work out at 4:45 in the morning when it's really hard. And here's a screenshot of us working out. I do a time lapse on my phone, record my workout, so that's accountability for me. Saying, I'm a coach. For a living, I have to work out and eat healthy and take care of myself. That's pretty rad, right? So every day I'm showing little glimpses of that. I'm showing glimpses of our team call. I'm showing glimpses of me drinking water, glimpses of my breakfast or lunch, glimpses of my shake. And if I'm showing up and sharing why I'm doing it, how Energize is helping me, how my Shakeology is helping me, when I drink 2 shakes a day, when I'm really stressed out, people are going to start to develop a trust in me because I'm consistently showing up, and they're going to see. I get asked all the time, how do you do what you do? You just moved across the state and into a new house and you have 3 little kids. How are you messaging me right now? And so they get to see these things are the little things, the little habits, the micro habits I'm doing that shift my whole energy, my perspective, and why I'm so excited every day to do what I'm doing. This is how I listen to personal development while I'm working out. And this is why I have to have a notebook while I'm working out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so good. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I'm like doing lunges as I'm writing on my notebook because these are the things. So when you're showing up on social media and you're sending invites, the invite is much more substantial because they've been watching you for weeks or months, sometimes years. And you'll get those people that come around at your year mark and say, okay, so I've silently been stalking you for a while. That happens all the time. And those posts that you don't think anyone sees, or you got 2 likes on, it hits a lot more eyes than you think. You're making a bigger difference than you think. And so instead of thinking of social media as me, like it's about me and my insecurities, and I hear this a lot, so I'm just going to say it. When you think like I'm a private person, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to air all of your dirty laundry on social media by any means, and nor should you. But if you think of it more of, this is my platform to serve people. If I'm working through something, someone else is working through something. So what do I need to hear to help me get through what I'm going through right now? You're going to really make a difference in people's lives. And this is where I feel that social media is my ministry field. I want to show up to show other tired, exhausted, lonely moms out there that they can show up too. And we have a community to support them. And I'm going to show up every day so that they are reminded every day that they could do this too. And when it comes to like being vulnerable about where you were, that's why we're vulnerable about where we were, because people see me now and they're like, how are you so positive? How are you so energetic? How are you like, how did you lose your baby weight? And I'm like, this was me. I thought that I was broken. I was told I could never have kids. I thought that if I was alone for 10 minutes, my anxiety was so bad that I was going to pass out and hit my head on the floor and I was going to die and no one was going to find me. Like no one would believe me. Now I was riddled with anxiety. My digestive system was a wreck. So bad that I looked 6 months pregnant as a 19-year-old. At 20, I was told I had the estrogen levels of a 55-year-old woman because my hormones were so out of whack. That's why it's my passion now. But I have to continue to remind people I was here. This is how I got here. It's small things. It's not a big thing. It's small, consistent actions that get you the results of where you want to be in life. To me, that is the power of social media. So that when I send an invite to somebody and I'm like, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. I really appreciate it. I would love for you to do this with me. Have you ever thought about it? Can I send you some more information? That they've been consistently watching me already, so they know a little bit more. They trust me, as weird as that sounds. My poor husband gets, well, not in our new town yet, but in Sonora, he used to get approached at the grocery store all the time with our kids and be like, hey, I know you. And he's like, oh. And they say, oh, I just watch your wife on social media. Because they feel like they know me because I'm on there so much, and I'm just myself, right? I'm like in a, like you guys know, I've got spit up on my shoulder pretty much 98% of the time, even when I'm like talking serious, and it creates that relatability to people. So social media presence power. Do you have credibility in your consistency? Do people know why you're doing what you're doing? And do they know how it's helped you? Or if you're brand new, do they know why you're doing it and why you're excited? Because when I started, before I ever got my challenge pack in the mail, I signed 4 people up because I was so excited about what I was going to do. And I sent people Liz's results. I didn't have any yet, I didn't try it yet, but I was so excited. So I told them, this is what the program I'm doing. This is the result this chick got. She just had a baby. Look how amazing she looks. Let's get these abs together, right? Doesn't have to be awkward, but that really helped my success in the last 4.5 years. And then just remembering that it's not about you. On social media, sending these invites, it's not about you. It's not about your insecurities. It's not about your fear of failing. It is not about your fear of what people will think. It's about them. It's about the people that don't know if they should keep living because they're out there. We know anxiety, depression, suicide is skyrocketing. Those people are on social media comparing their life to others. Speak to them. It's not about you. It's about them. And it's about reminding them that they still have a reason to show up, that there's still hope. This is where social media goes much beyond Beachbody, right? You have to create your brand. And this is why you guys know when I show up on social media in the mornings, I'm usually like fire of inspiration, the super annoying positive person, because I just got done listening for 30 minutes to Zig Ziglar and his 10 rules for success. And I'm like, yes, when I hear my alarm clock, it's an opportunity clock, because I heard it. That means I have opportunity for greatness. And if I don't hear it, that means I'm dead. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start calling it my opportunity clock. Like, so annoying, but I don't care. That is who you're speaking to on social media. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, so number 3, the actual invite. After this call, if you go into our leadership page, and I'm going to put this in this document that I put together eventually, have an invite script that sounds like you. People feel weird about copy and pasting, and that's fine. If you feel weird, like, you don't need to, I don't want you to feel weird when you're sending them. So if you don't want to, don't do it. But if I'm going to be writing out the same thing to 100 people, why would I retype it every time? Is kind of my perspective on that. I have no idea what's happening outside my front door. Can you guys hear me okay still? Okay. So when you're thinking about what do I write, what do I say to invite people to what I'm doing, how would you want someone to invite you? Some of you are new on here. Some of you are here because I sent you an invite. So when I sent you an invite, did you feel like I was annoying you or salesy or spamming you? If you're on here, you would say no, because you actually joined our team. But how I look at inviting is, this is the part I get really excited about, because this is my work. Like, this is my ministry, my mission field. If I'm not inviting people to be a part of what I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm just showing up for myself. I'm showing up because I want to help as many people as possible. That's my end goal. And I can't do that if I don't invite them to be a part of what I'm doing. That's like if you were throwing a party and every day you're telling people, like, this is going to be so cool. People's lives are going to change at this party. Oh my gosh, check out this person's experience at the last party that I threw and how amazing it was for them. But you never, and people are constantly every day, that's cool. I like that you're throwing a party. That's really awesome that you're throwing a party. How awesome that you're doing these things. That's really cool that these people are feeling this way about your party. And like, how rude if you don't invite them to your party. And you're like, yeah, I know it's cool. Yeah, I know it's cool. I'm going to keep telling you it's cool every day. I'm going to show up every day and tell you how awesome this party is, and I'm never going to invite you. Like, that feels like I'm a mean girl if I'm not inviting people, right? It's 100% about your perspective when you're afraid to send invites. And when I know that you do this because I do this. When you avoid it, you're like, I'm going to do all the other things or create a 20-page document and not actually send invites. And if I'm working for 700 hours, I'm going to feel accomplished and my business isn't going to grow. And then I'm going to feel defeated and like I'm broken and I don't know how to do this and this doesn't work for me. The invite is the work. The invite is where we reach people. The invite is how we grow our businesses. The invite is how we get people started. The invite is how we start conversations with people. So make sure that you're doing it. And I'm not going to tell you a number of how many you need to do a day unless you want me to, and then I'll give you a number to reach for. But have a running list on Instagram and Facebook. If you feel like you don't have enough people to invite, then start growing your network. And if you don't know how to do that, then start watching YouTube videos on how to grow your network. It's very simple. We just get in our own head about it. And even if you have 200 Facebook friends, invite them all. Go A to Z. Tell them what you're doing. Connect with them and be excited about what you're doing. So have a simple invite script. So here's something here's an invite that I would send. And this is based off of me showing up on social media. So I will send this to people who like my posts, right? Or who respond in a poll on my Instagram polls, or who are watching my stories consistently. And I will say, hey, Gwenda, thanks so much for liking my post I did about my group I'm starting, or my post I did about the lunch that I made, or my post I did about the mindset tip of the day, or my post I did about my workout. This has been a game changer for me. I'm so excited about the results people are getting. Have you seen that I'm not sure if you've seen, but I'm starting a new group in November called Next Level November. For any of you who don't have a challenge group yet, let me know and I'll add you to mine. I don't care. But you need one to invite to, right? I'm starting one in November called Next Level November. I think you'd absolutely love it. Would you mind if I send you more information? And I like ending with, would you mind if I send you more information, rather than would you be interested? Because sometimes when you say, would you be interested, people think that they have to be committed. If they're like, yeah, I'm interested, they think it's a marriage proposal. And so they won't respond to you for whatever reason. And so I've gotten more success with, could I send you more information? And so have an invite script in, and then the next step, number 4, is what to say. What to say, and then I'm just going to say yes and no. This is the next most common area where people get frazzled and they word vomit, or they're like, I don't know what to tell them now that they want more information. What do I say? So there's a couple options. If you're brand new, I would say get people started how you started. Get them signed up. Say, this is the package that I started with. This is why I like it. I'd recommend it for you too. Let's do this together. Maybe that was the MBF Deluxe Challenge Pack or whatever. Just get people started how you started. That's usually the easiest. Next, if you're a little bit more advanced in this, you can have a little blurb written up about the group that you're starting. Hold on, I need some water. And when you're speaking to them, if they say, yes, I'm interested, or send me more info, always speak to them as if you are anticipating them saying yes and working with you and signing up that day, because they feel it. And if you're hesitant, I used to respond, literally, I used to say, so I know it might seem like Shakeology is expensive, but I promise you it's worth it. In saying that, what am I doing? I'm putting seeds of doubt and telling them I think it's expensive. That's so dumb. In my head, I was trying to be nice. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I realized, this is so dumb. This is not expensive. People should not think it's expensive. And if they do, then it's my job to teach them why it's not, right? So if they say yes, have a little blurb written up. I have one. I posted it in our leadership page about the Google document that I put together with the bullet points of my group that I told you all you could copy if you wanted to, or use parts of it. And then also have a response if they say no thanks. That's totally fine. Respond to them and say, okay, no problem. Just in case you ever are looking for some quick and easy, healthy dinner recipes, here's one of my favorites. And take something from the Beachbody On Demand blog that's a recipe. I think the last one I wrote up was the turkey chili recipe. Hey, I just made this turkey chili recipe for my family. I thought I'd send it on to you because I know you're a busy mama as well. Let me know if you try it. What are you doing? They're saying no, and you're saying, okay, no problem. Here's a gift for you. Here's a gift for you. Let me know how you like it. I can't tell you how many people have told me no, 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 and then reached out and were like, okay, I'm ready. So you just never know. We say it. No does not mean no. It means not right now. And that's okay. But you're doing your job and serving your people. Okay. And then number 5, these last 2 are going to be quick. Okay, now I've got to get tricky. Tracking. This is going to be different for everyone, okay? But when you're not tracking the conversations you're having or the people that you're inviting or the business activities you're doing, there's no way to measure. Well, there's two things. There's no way to measure if you're actually working or if you're just in a hamster wheel doing things that aren't going to grow your business, because that's very possible. And I know that some of you who've been around know exactly what I'm talking about, because we've all done it. And it's like, I just worked for 5 hours on a graphic that's not going to do anything. But it made me feel busy, right? And I earned $0 because I did not do anything that's going to grow my business. So make sure that you're using, oh, I just had it in front of me, a tracker of some, oh my gosh, my dogs are going to make me fall. A tracker, Rooster, get off of me. A tracker of some kind, the business activity tracker. It's in the new coach quick start, or in the new coach checklist, the 1-page new coach checklist. I added it to our leadership page. If you've never seen it, use that to track, like, okay, at the end of the business week, I can see I've only sent 5 invites. I can see I've only posted on social media 3 times. I can see I haven't followed up with anyone. And those things that have been proven to make you successful as a coach, you can see I haven't done any of them. And then in your conversations, if you're not tracking who you're talking to, then you have no idea who to follow up with, right? So I'm going to show you something very simple. I have tried so hard to be a cool tracker and do it in a technology-based thing. But here's a very simple way to track your invites. It's a notebook. I folded the paper in half, like so. And then I numbered it. So this one had 33 spots. I did Instagram, Facebook. And then I just went through my posts from the last week, and I opened one and I opened who liked it. And I clicked on their name and I pasted the invite. And then I clicked the next person who liked it and I pasted the invite, right? Because say it was a nutrition post, then all the people who like that nutrition post, I can say, hey, thanks so much for liking my post I did recently about nutrition. I absolutely love this recipe, or something unique to that. Not sure if you saw my Next Level November boot camp that I'm running, but I'd absolutely love to have you in it. Would you like me to send you more information? If not, no problem at all. Just said I'd send you an invite. I hope you have a great day. Not salesy. I'm genuinely caring about them. And then I'll write their name. I sent an email to Instagram handle justright47. And then I keep tab of those. So at the end of the day, I can see, okay, I sent 25 invites. Then I'll have symbols that make sense in my brain. It won't make sense in other people. Like if they responded, I put a check mark. Oh gosh, dogs. If they filled out my form that I have that I personally use and love to use, then I'll put an F. If I followed up with them, I'll put a heart. If they signed up, then I'm going to highlight them in yellow as a customer or pink as a coach. That's my tracking brain and how it works for me. And I bring my notebook with me kind of wherever I go, because maybe I'm sending invites waiting in the car for my husband to go grocery shopping. That never happens, but that's an example. And I'll do the same on Facebook, and I'll go through my videos, and I'll go through my posts. Live videos, you guys, are a great way for people to trust you and get to know you, even if you're terrified. Just have fun with them. It doesn't matter. Just like share your light and your message with the world. So tracking is really important. However you do it, just do it. And then the last one is following up with my, oh my gosh, this squat form. Rooster, get out of my face. Get out of the baby's face. Follow up. That was actually a horrible squat form. So I hope Felisa, my personal trainer, wasn't watching me. Oh, good, you couldn't see my booty. Okay, so following up. People think if I follow up with people, I'm annoying them. I hear that a lot. I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to bug them. They didn't answer me. I sent them an invite, they didn't get back to me, or they said they were interested and then they never got back to me after I sent them information. If you only cared about sales, you wouldn't follow up with people. If you care about the person, if you go back to those beliefs that I know that this is going to help them, I know this is going to make them feel better about themselves, I know that this is going to serve them, I know this is going to give them more energy, it's going to make them more happy, I know they'd be amazing at this coaching thing, but they don't know it yet. If you really believe those things, then you're going to keep following up with them. You're going to keep reaching out. And I will tell you, I followed up with people before for 2 years before they finally came around. And now they're so thankful that they did. This happened for so many people of me. So I'm telling you from experience that it will happen. But remember just why you're doing it. And when you're following up with people, put it on yourself. And I learned this from Liz. So you can tell them if it's been a week since you followed up with people or longer. Hey, Gwenda, I'm so sorry I haven't followed up with you sooner. Life has been crazy. I apologize. I wanted to see if you had a chance to look over the information I sent you. I'm really excited for this group to start next week, and I'd love to have you a part of it. Does that sound salesy or icky? No, it sounds like, I hope you don't think it does. That to me is I thought about you. Tell them, hey, I was thinking about you today and I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. And maybe you just saw on social media that they've had a lot going on. And you can say, I see that you've had a lot going on, and life has been crazy for so many people right now. I just wanted to see if you wanted to be a part of this. It's helping a lot of busy moms, myself included. And relate to them. Ask yourself, what does this person need to hear right now? And then be that for them. Because you just never know what people are going through. And if some people see your message, you know how you can see that they've seen your message and they didn't respond? It's like super annoying, right? You're like, I don't want to be annoying. They saw it and they didn't respond, so they must not want anything to do with what I'm doing. How many of you have children? And how many of you have had your kid like jump on top of you as you're reading a message? Or you see it as soon as you jump in the car, you read something and then you have to drive and you're like, I'll get back to them as soon as I park. And then you all have Alzheimer's like I do and you forget. Like it just goes out of your head. And then 7 weeks later, you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I wanted to do that thing, right? So that is the key to following up. Just remembering to add value to people. You can, again, use the Beachbody On Demand blog and find a recipe and say, hey, thought of you. Here's a link to the chili I just tried or that I'm going to make tonight. Let me know what you think if you try it. And then just see if they respond. And then you can invite them again to your group. There's so many different ways you can do it. The point is, the most important thing is just to do it. If you do these things, mostly focusing on your mindset and your belief every single day. Remember, we feed our bodies consistently throughout the day. We have to do the same thing for our mind. Coaching will get hard, like anything great in this life. Parenting, super rewarding, hardest thing in the world, right? Like anything that is great is going to be challenging. Know that coaching, it could change the dynamic of your family and the trajectory of your future and your legacy forever, unlike pretty much any career that has the time and the location freedom and all those things. It could do that if you wanted to and if you put in the work and the focus, but it will be hard. I have some of my friends right now that you guys know that are high up in our company and are very successful and are making such a big difference in people's lives, are getting the worst messages right now from trolls on the internet. And maybe you say, that's why I don't go on social media. I'm terrified of that, right? There's going to be challenges. You have to decide if you are going to let fear stop you or if you're going to let it fuel you to be a brighter light. That's like when I started doing YouTube videos a couple of years ago, people in some of these same coaches and people have told me, don't post on YouTube, go on Vimeo because of the anti-MLM videos that are on YouTube. And my response, no, they're not taking over YouTube. That means I need to make more. That means I need to show up more to overpower their videos, right? That's always been my perspective and my mindset. And so you have to decide when life gets hard in general, and when coaching gets hard, what kind of example do you want to be? Who do you want to be in the face of adversity? What example do you want to be to your kids, or if you don't have kids, your future kids, or the people that are watching you? Do you want to be a person that folds, or do you want to be a person that faces it head on, is like, okay, this sucks, and we have to acknowledge when life sucks. I think that's really important. This is really hard. I'm going to overcome it. And I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out. And then I'm going to teach people how I learned to figure it out, because I'm a big believer that we don't have hardship in our life for ourselves, and we don't get through hard times just for ourselves. We are guided through that so that we can hold other people's hands when they're struggling, and when they don't have a support system, and when they have no one there to hold their hand and tell them it's going to be okay. You can reach out and say, you know what, I've been there. You can do this. I promise you. And you walk them step by step. And I know that sounds really intense when it comes to like hitting Success Club, like, cool, I get a tank top. It's so much more than that. And when you feel that and you see that, those Success Club numbers mean people's lives and generational impact that they're having, it should stir a fire inside of you that even though it's going to be hard today, even though I have to send invites when my kids are napping, or when they go to sleep tonight, or I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to make this happen, I know that I can make someone's life better today. That's my mission. And I know that the platform that I have can do that pretty much better than any other thing I've ever found before. So I'm gonna do it. And it's gonna feel so good after you do. Even though getting out of bed's the hardest part, like, getting out of bed early is the hardest part. But once you do it, once you do your workout, once you do the hard thing, it feels so freaking good. And then that builds confidence, and that builds momentum. And momentum, as you keep doing those things, is going to carry you to a place that you've actually never experienced before, that you were afraid to get to before, because you're like, I don't know how to get there, because you've never gotten there before. But when you take the small steps to run the marathon, then you see, I can run a marathon, and then you do it again. And over time, you build that strength and endurance, and that's how you become that influential person. Even if you're right now someone that's timid or scared, or, you know what I mean? Like struggling with those insecurities, if you take those actions in the midst of your fears, you're going to become that confident person over time that's inspiring other people that don't feel like they have the courage to show up either. That is how you master inviting. Was that helpful at all for anyone? No? Or did I dance around just for fun?
Watching her sleep was helpful for me.
I know. She's like zen.
She was so cute.
Crazy.
That was really helpful, Jessica.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm going to put this into like a PDF so that we all have it to share with our coaches or people who are just getting started. And as a reminder, I think when we're struggling, I think it'll be helpful to go back and do this like mental checklist, like how am I doing on these areas? And being it's the 28th of the month, just reminding you guys that so much happens at the end of the month. Like the last day of the month, so much happens. If we keep up that belief, like you were saying, Felisa, in our message thread, if you keep that belief that what we do works, that your people are out there, that you deserve success, and you are the person to help those people, then it all comes together. Promise.
Can you put the link to this video in that PDF too? I think that would be good for people.
Yeah, I definitely will. Good call. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. We came up on our hour mark. Thank you for jumping on. I hope you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.